There is a saying that says, hope deferred makes the heart sick. And women, this is for you because I have been in this situation before. I never talk about anything that I haven't been through, so I can definitely relate. So, hope deferred makes the heart sick. It means that when you hope for the things God did not intend for you, you will always end up disappointed. It will always lead to disappointment or regret. And in my situation, whenever I would go back to the wrong guy, which, a lot of us do, especially in this generation, I would always regret it, and it would always lead to disappointment. But it would always lead to disappointment because that's not what God ever intended for me. And I was not listening. And I would always get disappointed whenever I put myself in some mess, okay? And a lot of us are guilty of that, and we always think that God is going, we always hope for God to bless a relationship He never told us to even get in. And there's a lot of situations, not even just relationships, but whether it's getting a job or moving to wherever you're wanting to move to, and God never told you to do that, you're always going to be disappointed because if you're not connected to Him, you're not connected to God in the first place. First of all, you won't know. You won't know what God has for you. You won't know that He has a plan for you, and that plan is to prosper you and to give you an expected end, not to get yourself into temporary satisfactions and think that it's going to prosper you. No. God's not going to bless anything that you put yourself into that He did not tell you to go. So it is so important that you stay connected to God and obey what He says, because the thing is that God sees ahead. Whenever God's telling you to stay out of a situation, always know it's because He knows what's ahead. If He tells you not to get into that relationship, He knows that later on down the road it's not going to work out. Because you know what? If you get in too deep into something, you're going to stay in, or you're going to waste years of your life in a relationship, which I've done this before. You're going to waste years of your life in a relationship that God never told you to get into, and you're going to be disappointed and heartbroken and have a soul tie, and it's going to be hard for you to get over it, and you're going to have to go through a healing process. And He sees that ahead. He sees it coming if you get into that relationship. But if you just simply obey and wait and be patient, then you'll get what God has for you. He's not doing it because He's just, trying to be mean. God's telling you because He wants to prevent from you wasting years of your life in a relationship He knows isn't going to work out, and He's doing it because He has better for you. If there's something that you want and God doesn't want you to have, it's always because He has something better around the corner. And you just got to trust Him. It's all about trusting God and knowing Him. Do you know God? Are you connected to Him? Are you hoping in the things that you know that God wants for your life? Do you know that God has good plans for you? Do you know He wants you to prosper? But are you going to listen? Are you going to obey? But He loves you. He only says it because He loves you. So guys, learn to stay connected to God, because when you're connected to God, He will show you the way to go. He will show you who to date. He will show you where to live. He will teach you how to raise your kids. He will show you how to have patience. He will show you things that nobody in this world can show you ever. Nobody can fill that void. Only God can. So if you're looking, and if you're searching, and if you're tired of repeating the same mistakes, same bad habits, you're tired of feeling hurt, you're tired of feeling regret, look to God. Put Him first. Taste and see that the Lord is good. Try God.